Alright. Continuing the found footage series of reviews. As you see, I have a new background. Put together a new background for the found footage series reviews, although they're not going to be constant, like one after another. I'll spread it out. As you've seen, I did Grave Encounters movies. You know, Paranormal Activity, they started off, I really have to do a ranking, but Paranormal Activity started off this whole review thing I'm doing, my whole review portion of my channel. And then you got the Marble Hornets, which I did for the Halloween. But now we got, and then the Grave Encounters. Now we got Amber Alert, which is not a horror movie. It's more like a found footage thriller. Two friends are recording a tryout tape for a real world style reality show. They want to be on it, and they are filming with the two characters are Nate and Samantha Samantha's brother Caleb is the one that's doing the filming for most of this. While on the highway, they see an Amber Alert go up, and shortly after that, they find the car that's on the Amber Alert and decide to follow it. That's basically what it is. We're following these guys as they're the notebook, because there's some stuff at the end that I have to put up for the end. And it's important. So, first and foremost, this movie, I'm a father, alright? So I understand what it would be like if someone took my child from me. You know, someone just took off with them. And I understand that. I understand the need to want to help. Even if you're not related or connected to the people in which the kid was taken from, you know, there are good Samaritans like these people, well, Samantha anyway, that want to help. I'm more like Nate in this situation. Nate, he wants to help, but at the same time, he doesn't want Samantha or Caleb or himself to get hurt doing this. You know, he keeps saying, let the cops handle it, let the cops handle it. That would probably be me. Let the police handle it. It's really, none of our business. I know we want to help, but we did what we could, that kind of thing. But Samantha is the one that's up in his face. No, we gotta follow him. We gotta find out where he's going. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. That's fine. There is one thing I caught this time watching it that I don't know if I've caught it before. When they're in the car chasing after him, Nate says, that could, for all you know, that could be his daughter, and it could be a custody suit. Like it could be a custody problem. For all we know, it could be his kid, his daughter, whatever, and it could be just a problem with custody. It could be a custody battle. And when the guy eventually finds out that they are following him, he pulls over. She forces Nate to pull over, which is stupid. Because you don't know. He had a gun, but he didn't use it because he thought he could bullshit his way out of it. And he sort of did. But you don't know. You don't know. I'm sorry. You don't just... You keep driving forward. That way he thinks, oh, okay, they're not really following me. And then, once you're far enough away where he don't see you, turn in somewhere, and then see him drive by, turn back out, and follow him again. That's all you have to do. Although he'd probably be watching for you to follow him anyway. But I'm just saying. She grabs the wheel and forces Nate to pull over. And then the guy comes in and he basically bullshits his way out of the situation by saying, yeah, it's my daughter. I'm a day late getting her home. I'm about 20 miles away, from taking her home. And my wife put out the Amber Alert my ex-wife put out the Amber Alert. And he's like, I've been getting that all day. People have been saying things. You know, he's just bullshitting his way out of it. And Nate says, see, it's just like I told you. Not a little convenient. And I understand the guy couldn't know. But if it's the first thing that Nate could come up with, and it's the excuse that this guy used, what's his name? Michael Randolph Mueller. So, Mr. Mikey. This Mike. This Mueller, we call him Mueller. You know, if it's something that Nate come up with up top of his head, then anyone can come up with that off the top of that. Oh, it's a custody dispute. I'll just say it's a custody dispute and I'll get away with it. And he does, but what he doesn't know is they have a microphone in his gear that is recording everything. They can hear everything. Because they followed him to a gas station. He went in. Samantha got out and went over to the car, and she put the microphone in so that they can hear what's going on. And that helps them in the long run. So, they're doing a good thing here. But the police. Let's talk about the police, alright? As soon as they see this, they call the police. They tell them that about the Amber Alert car. They explain what it looks like. It's a car on the Amber Alert. And they tell them where it's going, what road it's going down. That's fine. We don't see any cops. They continue to follow it, right? So eventually she calls back to the cops and, explains what's going on. And says, yeah, the Amber Alert car. Okay. And they tell them, don't go after them. All that stuff. And then they still keep going because they still want to find him. And then there is a cop involved. A cop comes down, waves them down while they're yelling, that's the Amber Alert car. That's him. That's the Amber Alert car. He doesn't care. Because again, cops in movies, they think they're right and won't listen to anything else. They keep shouting at him, that's the Amber Alert car. And he doesn't listen. He pulls them over. So Nate has to pull over, and Sam's like, no, I have to pull over. He's pulling me over. So he pulls over, and they try to explain it to him. And he said, what part of pull over don't you understand? He goes, officer, we understand. We're trying to tell you that car we were pointing at, that's the Amber Alert car. The gray Honda on the Amber Alert from earlier. That's who it is. We called the police earlier and told them all this. And he's like, well, you need to turn the camera off. You need to take that evidence to, like, we spoke with him or whatever. Take that evidence to the police, or whatever, and get it sorted. Well, Samantha's like, after they get in the car, Samantha's like, no, we're not going to be done following them. And eventually, they do catch up with them again after this. But okay, let me address one of the things that annoyed the hell out of me. Firstly, since I woke up early this morning, I usually get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work. But my 4 o'clock alarm goes off because, just in case I want to get up early. It went off, I went to use the restroom, came back, couldn't get to sleep. So I'm like, okay, I'll put in a movie, let me put in Amber Alert, and I'll do a review. Well, and I didn't think I was going to finish it before I left anyway. So I'm like, okay, I'll just finish it when I get home, and I'll do the review after that. The movie literally finished up like a couple minutes before I had to leave. Like, oh, okay, that's convenient, but then I can't review it. I can't sit here and review it, because who knows how long it's going to be my review. I'll miss the van, So, my point is, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you have to listen to Samantha bitching and whining and crying in the car. No, we have to follow him. We have to keep going. We have to help her. It's like, I understand what she's trying to do. Can she not be so fucking whiny about it? I understand that she's in distress. She's upset. And especially, this one really had me covering my ears with my pillow this morning because after they have their encounter with the guy, with Mueller, right? And he leaves, and then they hear, you know, and then Nate's like, see, exactly as I was telling you, whatever. And then over the microphone, they hear him say, Mueller say, the little girl says, was that my daddy? And Mueller says, I told you, you're never going to see your daddy again. And then she's like, oh, you let him go. And I told you. You let him go. We had him. What were you going to do? First of all, the whole time that Nate and the guy are trying to talk, she's butting in, going, every time that the guy would give a reason, I understand he's guilty. Every time he would say something, she would have been, but you were on the Amber Alert. No, you were on the Amber Alert. You were on the Amber Alert. No, you were on the Amber Alert. I'm like, can you let them talk, please? Have a conversation. Because I understand the guy's guilty. That's fine. They weren't 100% aware of that. Yes, they knew there was a little girl in the car. But they didn't 100% know until after this happened that this was completely serious, all right? She's bitching and whining and crying while they're trying to have a conversation, all right? You know what she could have done instead of bitching, whining, and crying? Talk to the guy and try to get a little bit of more information out of him. Like, well, you know, he said, like, he doesn't give his name. But he comes up and he says, oh, my ex-wife, and this and that. Oh, I can call the police. I can wait for the police, you know, all that stuff. Why didn't I ask for his name? I said, well, can we have your name? Can we have your information? So at least if we talk to the police, we can tell them your name, and they can tell us, oh, we talked to him, you know? They don't ask for his name. She's bitching, whining, and crying and moaning the whole time about, oh, no, you're on the Amber Alert. You were on the Amber Alert. No, you were on the Amber Alert. Well, Nate's trying to talk. He can't get a sentence out because she's busy bitching and whining. It's just annoying, especially at 4 o'clock in the morning. I had to cover my ears with a pillow just so I didn't have to hear it. Phew. And she's resilient. I understand she wants to save this little girl. She does not want to give up. But by this point, all right, it gets late. Nate has had enough. He's had enough. They're eating food, right? And he tries to say, we did what we could do. We talked to the cops. We lost them. We lost. We did all that we could do. We told the cops all that we knew, right? He's like, what we can do is we can take the information to the cops. We can show the footage. And then she's like, well, Sandhill. He's like, what? She goes, Sandhill. He said Sandhill. She's like, yeah. So, yeah, but we did all we could do, Sam. And then she's on her phone or whatever, and she's like, Sandhill Road. And he's just like, what? She's like, Sandhill Road. It's an actual road. That might be where he lives. And he just gets up and walks out. Now, I understand she's trying to help. But Nate has clearly had enough. You know, this guy, you gotta think about this. This guy has seen their faces. Alright? This guy has seen their faces. If they were able to get the cops over there, what if he got away? Right? Well, if the cops got there and he's like, oh shit, I'm out, and he just takes off, runs in another direction, gets in a vehicle, drives away. Right? He knows what Sam, he knows what Samantha, Nate, and Caleb all look like because Samantha pulled them over. If they had kept driving like I suggested, he wouldn't know what they looked like. He'd know what car it was, but he wouldn't know what they looked like. What if it had gone down? What if they had, they do call in Sandhill Road, and what if they hadn't gone after it? Right? What if they took the information to the cops and showed them, and they found the guy, but he got away, like I said, and then he decides, well, I didn't get away with what I wanted to do. I'll go after those 3 guys who got the cops after me. See, that's not smart. I understand what she's trying to do, but she's not thinking straight. She's just jumping headfirst into a pool full of sharks. Is what she's doing, all right? She's not thinking straight. And that's where the end comes from. So, they drive out to Sand Hill Road. And they find the house when the microphone connects. Now, the guy leaves to go get candy. Mueller leaves to go get candy. And Sam, as soon as he leaves, runs up to the house. How do you know it wasn't a trap? How do you know? Because they find out later that he found the microphone. How do you know he wasn't setting them up? He drove around the block and then waited for them to run in. And then he would come back. He does come back, but the time it takes for him to come back suggests that it wasn't set up. It just because it's 5 to 10 minutes before he comes back, so it suggests that he left and then came back. He didn't just go, because if he went around the corner, it would be like 5 minutes. He'd come around the corner and coming back. Caleb would have been like, "Oh shit, he's back! He's back already! He's back!" But he didn't. So eventually they were able to break into the house through the garage, the garage, and they're able to find the girl. But they go headfirst into this, not thinking about it. Eventually Nate gets a gun, which I think is Mueller's other gun, I guess. We don't really get to see anything, but we do hear stuff. We hear gun. They turn off the light. So, like, they had the flashlight and they turn it off so that so Mueller can't see him. Because Caleb reports that Mueller is back. And then they hear a gunshot. And they're like, okay, so he took a gun to a candy store? I don't know, maybe it was a setup, I don't know. But then they turn off the flashlight so he can't see them. They gotta turn it on because they can't see where they're going. So they do, and Mueller's standing right there. You see him put the gun out, and then the light goes out again, and there's gunshots, and you see the flash of the flash powder from the gun. And then you hear the little girl yelling for help. Help! Help! And then it cuts. And then there's text comes up across the screen, and this is how it ends. Michael Randolph Mueller fired one shot to the back of Samantha Green's head. Samantha was killed instantly. Nate Riley fired 6 rounds from a .38 caliber revolver, killing Mueller with shots to the chest and stomach. Motherfucker's dead. Good. Nate was killed from 3 shots to the lungs. Caleb Green was found hiding 20 yards from the car with a gunshot wound to the left shoulder. He'll survive. Police found 8-year-old Brooke Layton unharmed. She was released to her family by morning. So, even though they went in head first, Samantha didn't think about the situation, and they died because of it, they still saved the little girl. Because in the end, Mueller died too. But had they thought out the situation, waited for the police, they told them the exact address, Samantha was too impatient to wait for the police. I know she was thinking something was going to happen to the girl, but late at night it was. I don't know what he would have done, although it sounded like he was doing a little something, sketchy over the microphone, but then he left to get candy. So who knows what he was going to do, but from the sound of it, it took 10, 20 minutes for the cops to get there? Maybe a half hour? 45 minutes? They had waited. If they had just sat there and waited, the guy would have come back, right? And eventually the cops would have shown up. And they would have given their information. He's in that house. Got the little girl. All that. They had just waited. But they didn't. They saved the little girl, but at the cost of their own lives. There's also a thing after the text that has a little, back and forth between them before it all happened, indicating there was something more between them, especially Nate. Might have had feelings for Samantha, but that's one thing about found footage movies I don't like, is that it has to be, it's found footage, so everyone has to be dead. Yes, Caleb survived, and that works. Why can't there be one survivor that shows the footage, you know? Like The Visit, right? The Visit, the two kids survive, right? And they, she presents it as a documentary, but this movie is pretty good. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Amber Alert, 7 out of 10. So yeah, that was pretty good. And I've been thinking, there's something I'm forgetting about. Like some kind of movies I should be reviewing, but I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know, Cowabunga, what I should be reviewing. I don't know, I'll figure it out. Until then, love, peace, and chicken grease.